Welcome back everybody to round 2 of the 2021 SP Tools Australian Kart Championship right here at Todd Road in Melbourne. We're getting set for the finals with Cadet 9 heading out onto the track. Zach Hilder will start on the pole position. Dominic McCurry on the outside front row. Joining us in commentary, a very special guest, indeed an Australian champion in his own right from a little bit ago, Barclay Holden, back in the scene. How's it going, Barclay?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, it was a few years back now. I don't think any of the drivers I'm working with were even born when I won my last championship, so had to remind them that actually sometimes I do know what I'm talking about when they go, who are you anyway?
Yeah, that's it. Here we go. We're getting set for the start with our Cadet 9 final, and we're underway. Hilda and McCurry head down to turn number 1. Can they get through? Turn number 1, one's gone off there. Oh, one's gone around as well. We've got Stacks on the mill on the exit of turn number 1, and I thought it was McCurry that's gone around, and indeed it is, as Hilda leads the way on this opening circulation. Second place is Flack, and there's the 27 machine who's come to a halt, and he's no longer in commission in this final. Of course, we're competing this one over 16 laps. The youngest competitors, one going bush on the way through there, of the Australian Kart Championship. Hilda's been pretty strong throughout the course of the weekend so far. Pick them up as they come down front straightaway and catch up with Barclay and what he's been up to. Hilda leads away from Flack, then Sebastain, Eskandari-Marandi, Riley Curtis and Cruz Capitanio. Chad Edwards, Liam Carr and Cruz Kelly. So Barclay, you're back in the scene. You're the head of Kart Republic now these days.
Yeah, I took over Kart Republic about a year ago now, so just been trying to build it up. It's a pretty new company, especially in Australia, so even on a world scene they're probably only 4 years old. So we're still learning the product and learning the ins and outs of what it means to make it a success here in Australia. One thing we've got going for us, it's on the world scene, it's probably one of the best, if not top 3 chassis you can get. So we've got a bit of a head start there, but just getting it to work in Australian conditions and just building up the team is basically what we're trying to do at the moment.
And from your perspective, how many drivers are you running at this round of the Australian Championship?
So I've got about 8 in my team, and there's probably about 15 Kart Republics here at the moment. So a lot of my team is quite green, quite new to the AKC, so they're using this year as more of a sort of a learning curve for sort of have a bit of a hit out next year. I think there was only 2 that actually had been to this track before, so we were lucky that the first round was a home track for us, so everyone sort of got a taste of it with a track they knew, but coming away is another challenge in itself, so we're just trying to work on each driver to get the most out of them for the weekend.
Yeah, for sure, as they come through here, Zach Hilder continues to lead the way, but Sebastain, Eskandari-Marandi starting to close in, our championship leader. Just over 0.2 of a second between the two of them. Alistair Flack sitting in third. He's certainly one of the championship contenders here. Chad Edwards has been having a pretty good run so far as Eskandari-Marandi looks up the inside and takes the race lead. And he will lead it down the back straightaway. He's got a couple that have come together on the Bridgestone back straightaway. And our top 3 have a very fair lead here over Edwards, with Cruz Kelly at the head of the next lineup with Lucas Costanzo and Cruz Capitanio. So Barclay, looking back on your own experience at this level of the sport, of course, you're Formula A champion some time ago, when that was a category, and had many years in the sport from juniors.
Yeah, it was sort of a 10-year career. Had a bit of a break after that, but some things have changed, some are the same. The same sort of rules apply to, if you want to win one of these championships, you've got to be at the front the whole year. Consistency, try to stay out of trouble, which sometimes finds you. There's been a little bit of that this weekend, but it's all about consistent performances and you got to take what you can get when you can get it. Sometimes you're not always going to be the quickest, but sometimes you're better off just finishing and collecting those points, because that's what gets you the title.
Yeah, that's exactly right. As we've made the point earlier on today, it's scoring points right throughout every part of the weekend, and I mean, you were one of the experts at that back in the day, but back in the day there wouldn't have been semi-trailers and all that sort of thing hanging around the pits either, was there?
No, I think me and my dad came in our Ford Econo van most of the time. There were still some, like, obviously really professional teams back there, and the driving is pretty well similar, you know, skill levels similar, and I know some of those guys from back then, you know, Matt Wall, even David Serra, James Serra, those kind of guys, they're still right at the front. So, you know, the competition level hasn't really gone up, but definitely the amount of professionalism has, and, you know, Karting Australia's taken it to another level with AKC, and it's, you know, it's great even to have these little guys here, which we never had the Cadet 9 and 12 at Australian Championships before, so it's a lot of pressure for them, but it really holds them in good stead for sort of their later career.
And for these young guys, I mean, you've referred about scoring points throughout the course of the weekend and so on. What sort of advice would you have for them when it comes to their career, particularly at this level? As you say, there's a bit of pressure going on, but what advice would you give to the young fellas coming into it?
Yeah, there's a huge amount of pressure on them. You know, if what we ask of these little kids, they don't get asked of in any other aspect of their life. You know, to perform all the time. You know, they, you know, got to be serious when, you know, it's hard for a 7 to 9 year old to, you know, take it seriously all the time. But it's probably more just a patience thing. You know, don't expect to go out there and, you know, be top 5, top 10 in your first year. You might be able to, you know, do a really good job on one weekend, but then you're going to have your bad weekends. So you just got to keep your head up on those bad weekends, and, you know, look forward to the next weekend, and just, you know, just keep pushing on.
Coming up to the halfway point here in this opening final of the weekend, Sebastain Eskandari-Marandi, he leads the way, but the pressure is starting to mount from Zach Hilda in second spot. Alistair Flack continues to run in a distant third at the moment. Chad Edwards has got a bit of a battle forming up behind him for fourth place, with Cruz Kelly closing right in on him. Cruz Capitanio, the next one in that lineup as well. Then Lucas Costanzo and James Hoon with Caelan Burke, who finished on the podium at our opening round, involved in that battle as well. Up here with Barclay Holden, the team principal of Kart Republic here in Australia. Of course, the importer and team manager at Australian Kart Championship level. So how did you come about with the Kart Republic crew and taking on that?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a story there. I took over helping a couple of young drivers. You know, sort of saw the product overseas doing quite well, and no one was really pushing it overly hard here. So I saw a sort of an opportunity there to bring the karts here, and it had been a few people that tried previously, and it's a huge undertaking trying to get a brand off the ground here in Australia. There's already, you know, teams that are set up, been doing it for such a long time, so to sort of try to take it to those guys, it's a big task. But I know the product is good enough, so that's, you know, why I've got passion for the product, and yeah, I'm really going to push hard to, you know, make it one of the best here as well.
And what attracted you to come back? I mean, you've been away from the sport for such a long time. I mean, you've been off and done, I think, some historic circuit racing and so forth. What brought you back to karting?
It's just always been, you know, one of my loves, karting. You know, it got me hooked into the sport of motor racing, and it's the competitiveness. It's the family feel. You know, it's not just a one-on-one thing. It's a team. It's team environments, and it's basically just the action that you get from karting is, you know, I've done a little bit of circuit racing, but unless you're at that top level of sort of V8 supercars, it's not, you know, I won't say it's boring, but it's definitely not as exciting as karting.
Yeah, certainly not turning around within an hour and you're back on circuit yet again, that's for sure. As the action continues here, Sebastain Eskandari-Marandi, he's put the foot down, he's opened the gap up to 0.8 of a second. Now there's a battle going on here that you're watching between the 99 of James Flynn, Lucas Costanzo. Cruz Kelly involved in that one as well in the 47. Of course, Cruz Kelly, part of the Tasmanian Kelly family. Owen Kelly racing this weekend down in Phillip Island, took out the Trans Am victory at the Shannon's Nationals yesterday. It was quite a solid run that he had down there. It was pushed all the way by Aaron Seaton, kept an eye on that last night. So Eskandari-Marandi, a new fastest lap of 46.932 on lap number 11. He's out to nearly a second over Zach Hilda. Then 2.5 seconds further back is Alistair Flack. Chad Edwards is heading up the next little group. No, in fact, he's on his own out there at the moment. Then there's this group that you're watching battling it out for 5th between Flynn, Kelly, Costanzo, Capitanio. All of those drivers have had a pretty fair weekend so far. Mate, the skill level of these Cadet 9s and Cadet 12s that you've seen out here, Barclay, what are your thoughts on it? I mean, you see them do some pretty extraordinary things.
It's actually some of the best racing, and how quickly they come from basically struggling to get around one lap when they start to 6 months later, some of the racing, the racecraft, and it's just really unbelievable that they can do it at such a young age.
Yeah, it truly is, and you know, the way that they conduct themselves on track, I guess racing room and so on is also another remarkable part. If you're watching this for the first time, these drivers are between the ages of 7 and 9 years of age, so they can take to the track and fight it out for an Australian championship. We've got multiple Australian champion Barclay Holden here with us, one of the team managers, part of a series that we're going to continue to do throughout the Australian Kart Championship in 2021. As Sebastain Eskandari-Marandi continues to lead. He's got the lead out to 1.2 seconds now. And Zach Hilda, who's in second. Alistair Flack still in third. Chad Edwards holding down the 4th position. These battles that have been going on behind. Oh, gee. Continues on there. So Barclay, where's your base at with Kart Republic, and what's the dealership model look like at the moment?
Yeah, so at the moment, I mean, we tried to start this off last year, and obviously with the situation we had, it made it, you know, it put us on the back foot a little bit. So we're still just basically building up the dealerships. You know, we've got some dealers in most of the states at the moment. We're based obviously in southeast Queensland. So, you know, we're looking at the moment into getting a premises to be at full time. But it's more so just I'm really concentrating on supporting the drivers at the moment. So hopefully that way, you know, they, instead of worrying too much about dealers and all that sort of stuff, we want the drivers to feel like they're supported by us, that they've got everything they need to do their job.
Where can people find more about Kart Republic Australia and your outfit?
Yeah, so check us out on Facebook, Kart Republic Australia. You've got a lot of information on there. We try to keep everyone updated with how things are going and what products are available. New karts are on their way. Italy's been a little bit on the back foot with the COVID issues over there, so it's really delayed our latest shipment. But it's on its way now, so in the next month or so there'll be new senior karts and cadet karts for sale. So yeah, just jump on Facebook and you can get my details and give us a call or send a message through, and we'll get straight back to you and let you know where we're at.
Very good, as we're on the last lap here in Cadet 9, round number 2 of the SP Tools Australian Kart Championship. And this man, the number 44, Sebastain Eskandari-Morandi, is looking to make it 3 round wins in a row. Doing a spectacular job. Over the top of the hill he comes. Onto the front straightaway. Expect a celebration as he crosses the line. And he gets it done. Real business, in fact, there, young Sebastain. No celebration whatsoever. Zach Hilda comes through in second spot. Alistair Flack comes home in third. Waiting now for Chad Edwards in fourth. Geez, what a spread among that field. Then it's James, next across the line is James Flynn, Lucas Costanzo, Cruz Kelly, Riley Curtis, Cruz Capitanio, then Travis Dew rounding at your 10, Caden Beecham, Kalen Burke, Joseph Bianchini, Tate Owens and Charlie Campbell rounds out your top 15, but Sebastain Eskandari-Marandi absolutely slaughters them with a 1.6 second lead. Well, Barclay Holden, thanks for joining us up here. It's been great to have you with us. To give us a little bit of an insight into Kart Republic and what you've been up to, and no doubt everyone looks forward to seeing you around the traps as we continue on.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Matt. Thanks for your time, and good luck for everyone for the finals. It's been pretty action-packed so far, so it's going to be a good afternoon. And
good luck to your guys as well. We're going to take a break here at Todd Road. You're watching the finals day of the SP Tools Australian Kart Championship, presented by Castrol Edge.